All right, everybody, welcome back to the 30 something podcast. We're gonna call this one episode 1.2 because as you can see, for those of you who are watching, that we have on the same clothes as last week.
Yeah, don't be weirded out.
It's because we actually recorded this show at the same time. So
we just got more content. So
more
let's just keep
content,
going.
absolutely. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Tone. If you can just start us off. Thank you.
So we want to talk about, the female perspective and I guess relationships, right? And dealing with females.
We're talking about the male perspective.
The flip side, male
Okay,
side.
gotcha.
But when the male's perspective about females. So, fellas, how do you feel, I guess, when it comes to when you're dating and you're traveling and the out of town experience? Like, how are your feelings about that? Because honestly, when it comes to like going out of town, you plan a trip, certain expectations from being an adult. The views might be different from a man's perspective to the female's perspective.
So we about to drop some game to the ladies as far as what we can expect.
Yeah, like
All right. So as always, I always start off the conversation addressing the fellas. Like I would say, fellas, if you're gonna plan the trip, like plan it all out. Like plan where you're gonna go, plan the dates,
set the tone early.
Yeah, set it. Like do your research on the room. Even if the woman says that she's gonna contribute, like take the lead on it. Like don't. Just like tell her like, hey, or ask her. Sorry, ladies, it's 2019. Ask her to take off a certain days or whatever off, and then you say, hey, we're gonna go here. This is where we're gonna stay. These are things that we're gonna do.
This is what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and then get her thoughts, because then she may say, hey, she wants to do X, Y, and Z. So then now maybe you can go in and you can kind of work in what it is. But the whole thing, like you said, is like set the tone.
But you can't leave a lot of room for conversation, because if you do, you'll go back and forth for hours. Have you ever
What do you mean by that?
Okay,
This is Jaywalk speaking.
where are we going to eat lunch? That conversation could go for like 40 minutes. Well, I don't know. Well, I'm feeling like, just like,
why do females not know what they want to eat?
have something picked out in your mind and just go with it.
Yes.
Is that like a stamp in their DNA? Like,
They
they
don't
have
know.
no inclination of what they want to eat. Like, if I get hungry and I say, hey, I'm trying to go get some food. Are you ready to go eat? What do you have a taste for? They're like, I don't know.
That's dangerous territory.
I don't know. Like, that's just the most arrogant.
But then when you pick someone, I don't want to eat there.
Yeah. Because I'm quick to go to a barbecue joint. I don't eat barbecue. Nah.
Yeah.
Like,
So to your point, like you said, don't leave any room for conversation. So say, hey, we're gonna eat at this restaurant.
Exactly.
And then if she doesn't want to eat there, she'll tell you. She'll say, hey, I don't want Mexican food.
You got to
I don't
have
want
like
pizza.
3 options in the tuck.
Yeah,
hey, young followers, please listen to this because we dropping some serious jewels from experience.
But don't tell her about the other options.
Yeah, you cannot. Do not tell
Yeah,
Don't tell her about the other
Don't
options.
tell her about the other options. So fellas, I think that is a trick for getting out of what are you hungry? Where do you want to eat? Because women never know. They never know what they want to eat and where they want to eat. Hey, I'm sorry, I don't like to what's the word, like generalize and put like stereotypes, but that is facts. That is factual. They don't know what they want to eat and where they want to eat.
They about to be all in your DM,
Hey,
bro.
no.
They're gonna roast you. They're gonna sacrifice you, dog.
They are gonna be in the comments saying like 100 in facts. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't know.
So let's talk about setting the tone more, right? We just talked about food, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about like activities, right?
Yeah.
So you might get to this place and you might have an agenda, but to actually talk to her and figure out what her likes or whatever she might want to do, how do you guys feel?
I disagree with
how
that.
far like you take that
So
too?
I disagree, right? So you should kind of know to some extent, not 100%, but to some extent, like what kind of things the woman that you're traveling with is into. So, for example, if I know that the girl whether this is my girl or a girl I'm traveling with, a woman that I'm traveling with, if I know that she doesn't like to hike, we're not going to the mountains.
Yeah, see,
you know what I'm saying?
So like, never surprise a woman.
Yeah. So if
like,
I know that she likes to hike,
right.
then we'll go to the mountains. If I know that she likes the beach, then we'll go to the beach. But I'm not gonna plan a trip or an event or even a date to do something that I know that the woman isn't gonna be interested in.
Because she will come in with the car with like a full blown new hairdo, heels, and you're like, hey, we're gonna go
hike it.
We're gonna go to Sky Zone, and we're gonna go to the trampoline place. She's gonna be like,
wig is toasty.
I'm not going to the trampoline place. I just paid like $180 for this sewing. You think I want to jump around? And
Facts, man. This is factual.
That's not fair though, because say for instance y'all feeling each other and you mess up her weed later that night, she ain't gonna be mad. So what valid point do you have to that? She spent $180.
Well, look. All right. So here's the thing.
I'm just saying.
It's at the levels or times in relationships, and because if you're like newly dating, she'll do whatever. Cause because she feeling you like it's new. It's like a new car, man. It's just like a new car. Like you'll drive places you never even thought about driving just because you want to drive your new car. So
hey, you know what's crazy is like the distance between Akron and Cleveland. When you like somebody
30-35.
you will drive it.
Oh.
Hey, it's 35. When you kind of like somebody, it's 45. It's 45-50. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta go and get this. Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, but like some females, if they really feeling you, like, you know, they don't mind, you know, so messing up their hair or makeup or something like that because they're just into you. But like, you put a couple years in that relationship, it's kind of like, Negro, what?
I don't know. I don't know. But to your point, as far as not surprising them, I definitely agree. Like you're not gonna plan a trip to something that you don't. You're not. For me, I'll speak for myself. I'm not gonna spend money to do something or go somewhere, and I don't know if the woman that's coming with me is even gonna like it. Right, that's a bad investment.
But so like you know, we spoke about like episode 1, right? Like, you know, you're a Cancer, JY, he Aries. So me, I'm a Libra, so I'm an air sign. So I'm up in the air, like I just go with the flow, right?
You can't be like that with women.
That works for me. Like it really works. Like spontaneity and excitement and just random like stuff, that pushes the engine for like, I don't know what's coming from this dude. Like, and they love it. They love it.
I can see that.
So,
but, okay, well, hold on. But
I'm not gonna say, hey, let's jump out of a plane real quick. Like,
I'm saying,
I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But I'm gonna at least say, hey, I'm gonna need you to wear this, and I got a surprise for us.
So that be because you know where it is you want to go, what you want to do, and I'm gonna assume that either two things are happening. That one, you know that lady is gonna be interested, or two, that maybe it's new or kind of newer, and she's willing to go and do some
things.
Give
an example, like you know, I didn't took, you know, back in the day,
long time ago.
I done took a female to the Bahamas, right? And I said, hey, you might want to get your hair braided up, because we're gonna be in the water. And I set the tone, like, okay, cool, like.
Listen, this guy is good for doing crazy shit like that. Okay, this guy.
But I'm
not gonna go there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but yeah, okay. So maybe you do things a little bit differently.
But it's still how the wind flows. So even that, I might be sitting in the water. We might be in a pool, or we might be in the ocean. Yeah. But I know for a fact that her hair getting wet, at least I have a conscious of that to really realize.
So look, Tone, we're actually saying the same thing to a certain extent, because you planned out where it was that you were gonna go. You planned out the time frame, detailed. And you told her, you gave her enough information as far as how she needs to have her hair to avoid any type of conflict. So you're not,
You said
so you're not
conflict?
surprising.
No, 'cause
That's
it
what
will
it
be
is.
conflict.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
said
So no,
conflict.
so no, Tone. We're actually saying the same thing. We're just saying it differently.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you still had a plan, and that's what I'm saying is fellas, have a plan.
You got to convert.
Have a
You
plan.
got to have a plan. You got to understand that.
All right. What's some other things as far as traveling?
Man, oof. I done did some crazy stuff. I just want to let the
So
followers
what's too early
That's good.
too early for.
to like travel with? Let's say okay, because all right, we're real. Sometimes there's deals, like people are dealing with other people, right? And then sometimes you have like an exclusive kind of thing, or maybe you're seeing somebody with the intent to that maybe at some point this
All
can
right,
be
cool.
exclusive.
Boom.
What was too early? So let's speak
I
specifically.
got it. Yeah, we good.
So I don't know about y'all, but just speaking personally. So like,
Because the question is what's too early?
all right. So like, if I'm spending money for somebody, all right. So like, say if I'm like, okay, let's go to New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
And we're not exclusive. We're just talking or whatever. And then I take you to New Orleans, and then we get back, and you go somewhere with somebody else.
Hold on, what do you mean?
I might be in my.
Hold on. You get back to Ohio, you back
Right,
home,
right.
and then she takes another trip.
Yeah, or she goes out with somebody else, which she can because you guys are not exclusive.
Yeah.
But I just leading to part one of the show, I might get in my feelings. Because I just took you on like a $600 trip.
Right.
But if you're not, and
if
she goes out with like John, as soon as she gets back,
the expectation is that she's gonna do that, because if you're not, I mean, she may be doing it even if you are exclusive. But what I'm saying is,
the world will never know.
Yeah, but the thing
and
is
we
that
have the right to do that too. But I don't know. That's just me. I'm just weird like that.
No, bro, I don't think you weird. I think a lot of brothers feel that way, and what I'm trying to say is you shouldn't feel that way, because if you're not dating somebody exclusively, you just have to forget the whole thing of maybe they're gonna do this. You just gotta have it in your mind
They will do
that
this.
they are going.
Yeah.
That like
Set your expectations low.
Set the expectation that if you're not dating her exclusively, that she's dating other people, she's having sex with other people, she's traveling with other people. No, listen,
that's real.
and maybe she is not, good. But just have the expectation, so that way you're not sitting here wondering or thinking. Just like, no, like, hey,
That's
you know
rough.
what? She's probably dating somebody else right now. That's why she isn't responding to my text, and be okay with it. It's okay.
Listen, this isn't my personal counseling session. Okay?
I'm here to help you, brother. I'm here to help you, brother, man.
I'm just saying, what has happened or may have happened to somebody in the past.
Got you.
All I know is that my story is that if I'm in the transition of traveling and I'm setting the expectations, regardless of wherever I go, it in the level of confidence within self. Like, I'm gonna say, hey, like, whatever happens. So again, I'm going with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna be upset, or I'm not gonna be in my feelings because I haven't really invested too much.
You invested your money, man.
You have, but the time is priceless, though.
The money. You can't get that money back.
So money versus time spent.
My money, man.
That's how you feel. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
the
like,
time, see,
the time spent, it values more to me.
Okay.
And that's why we can, listeners, followers, like, I really, get it or understand the 5 love languages. Like, time spent is really high on my list,
Gotcha.
right? Like, quality time.
Oh, stop.
It is. I'm just saying.
Hold on, but
It's more than the
listen.
money that you spend.
But listen though, but listen,
Because
Yes.
it's priceless, bro. Like, you can't get that shit back.
yo, but
I don't give a damn, like, where you go,
I keep trying
what
to
you've
cut
done.
in here.
You cannot get that time
Just
back.
cut his mic.
I know, right?
He
I'm
would've
about,
cut my mic.
I'm about to just mute it.
Khalil,
but listen,
what y'all
listen.
got to say?
No,
Thompson, they got anything?
I'm about to cut his mic. Here we go.
Okay. Boo.
No,
I'm on ESPN. All
But
right.
look though, you didn't waste time under that scenario because you did what you wanted to do. So you didn't waste time. If you go on the trip and whatever and you get back and then she goes her own way, you had a good time. So you didn't waste time. But what you did was, if you were thinking you were dating this woman exclusively and you spent that money, it's not the time because you had a good time. It was the money that you spent.
So, what you're saying is that, fellas, make sure that you do the homework or the back work before you go out of town. I mean, that's what you're saying?
Absolutely. Like we were saying before, have your plan. Don't leave any room for conversation.
But financially,
hold on. You know what?
everybody-
Have an agreement. What's wrong with having an agreement? Like, after we get back from this vacation, you can't go on vacation with anybody for 3 months, 90 days.
No,
you have to let my vacation simmer, or you have to let us be. You got to let us be exclusive 90 days after our vacation.
Damn. 90
And
days
if I
after.
see you on vacation with another dude in 90 days, I'm never talking to you again.
No,
no.
bro.
I'm just
You know what though is interesting is, I would say this, right? And we're speaking in the context of the woman not being exclusive with you. Is that though, if you're traveling with her, we better act like we exclusive though. You know what I'm saying?
When we out of town, we together.
Yeah, we are together.
We're together when we out of town.
So like,
You mine and I'm
yours.
yeah.
Man.
So like,
if you go out of town and if she like hooks up with like another guy out of town on your trip,
dude. Hey, dude. You know what though?
hold on.
You
I
know
want
what,
the
though?
listeners, female listeners,
women.
Have you ever did that to a guy? Have you ever went? No, you know what? Screw out of town. Say if you just went to a party with a guy, like y'all went together.
Yeah.
And then like you hooked up or like chill with another guy.
You know who I blame in that situation?
I blame the guy.
I blame the guy.
I blame the guy.
Because he didn't do his homework.
I'm breaking that shit up, man. Listen, if we go out and if you're dancing with another guy, and you know what? That has happened to me one time.
It happened to you?
Yes. Feathers and crystals.
Ooh.
Hold on. When you went out. And
These are
then-
code names, by the way.
Yeah, we go.
Okay.
No disclaimers.
I'm thinking
no
it's like the name of a
lawsuits,
club, like it's a Feathers and Crystal Club on the east side of Cleveland somewhere.
Nah. These are code names.
Okay, got you. Yeah, no, but no, I would say, and those are two different things.
And I'm not a simp. It wasn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was. Listen. I had no idea this was going to happen. It just happened. Right, and it ended bad. It almost ended up in a fight. And I'm not like in my feelings,
man.
but like I was salty.
I hear a lot of emotion, man. I hear a lot of emotion.
I'm upset. I'm allowed to be upset.
I'm
upset.
I hear like if not in that case, but if you travel, you go out of town, and a woman hooks up with
We wasn't out of
somebody
town.
else.
This was
no,
just-
this is separate.
This was a local date. Well, not a date. This was. It just getting worse and worse. This was a local.
So how does that make you
bro, hold on.
feel?
Okay,
This was a local kicking it session. Let's say that.
Okay. So look, I'm not gonna leave you hanging. It's happened to me too. I threw a party. It's a long time.
This is a long time ago for me too.
Long time ago.
Long time ago.
I threw a party, and it was a woman that I wasn't seeing exclusively though. She came to my party. We were chilling, and she was like, I was like, so what you doing after the party? She was like, I'm gonna go home and go to sleep. And I actually like stayed not too far. So when I was walking back, I seen this Kappa dude walking up the stairs. I was like, oh, and I know him too. I was like, oh man, but you know, it happens. It happens. Like she wasn't my girl. You know what I'm saying?
When you're out there dating, like in the trenches, in like the wild life of dating,
And listen,
the wild west of dating.
No,
It
that's
happens.
wild.
and listen, and fellas, and we've done it too.
Yeah.
We've done it too.
We've done it more.
No, not more.
Man.
Not more. Not more. Not more. Not
Man,
more.
I didn't ghosted a couple females. Like I'm gonna be real. Like
Yeah.
if I didn't feel the vibe or however it happened, and like
Out.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you where my weakness is. Is like I have a hard time keeping up a lie. So like literally, I just try not to put myself in a position where I have to lie because like I'm gonna mess up. I'm not gonna remember the story. I'm not gonna remember the
I'll write
details.
that shit out, man.
No, I literally. So like that's not to say that I haven't lied. That's not to say that I don't lie or I won't lie. I just try to limit the potential.
Limit the lying.
No, not even the lying. I try to limit.
Everybody lies.
I try to limit being in a situation where I have to say a lie, where I have to tell a lie, because I'm not gonna
so
remember.
less is more. You going with the less is more theory?
Yeah, because
right?
I'm gonna mess
So
up. And I tell my boys like, look, if you hanging out with me, you gotta like text me, remind me that you are out, that you're hanging out with me, so that way like I'm not like on the grab, like yo, I'm chilling in the crib today, I ain't doing nothing, cause like yo, I'm gonna mess up, or like I'm not gonna be able to remember the
That's
story.
fair. That's fair.
So yeah, so.
But Love and
Fellas,
War, Love
fellas,
and War
they
is
gotta
grimy,
know,
though.
like, yo,
Like,
I have a
Love
hard
and
time with
War
lies.
is grimy though, like because the same stuff we talking about, right now, and for our female listeners, because we're very sensitive,
The
because we have a
women.
lot of women listeners, female listeners.
We love you.
It's just the way that we present certain things from a man's perspective that we really want y'all to understand that it's just two different views.
All right,
it's
so
really open about it.
Josh keeps on saying women versus females, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just want to jump out there and just talk about something for like 5 quick minutes. Yesterday, we seen that video
Maya.
of Maya
Yeah,
Angelou
yeah.
and how the young lady on a talk show asked her a question, but she addressed her as Maya. And Maya Angelou went in on her. She checked her real hard. Like, you don't have the license to call me Maya. And, I'm an elder. So my question for
Angelou.
you, brothers, was she wrong for doing that? And my standpoint is, if you're a guest on a talk show, it's not like you're my professor or it's not anything like that. So it's like, if I jump out there on a talk show and call you by your first name, even though you're my elder, I mean, well in doubt, like I was probably wrong, so I'll accept that. But,
How long ago was this?
this was like 30 years ago.
Okay, yeah, man. Time, I really can't respond.
It
to
just
that one, man.
resurfaced. Like,
It resurfaced.
it just,
though.
it just resurfaced.
I don't know,
But
man.
geologically, though, in the climate in today's time, when it comes to, like I'm just saying, living up north, I can understand why she said on the interview of a show, "Hey, Maya, I have a question about interracial dating." That was
You're
her
on a talk
question,
show.
right?
You're on a talk
You're
show.
on a talk show. But like, Maya Angelou went in too hard for me personally on her because that was just a general answer from somebody who looks up to you. So you ain't have to check her. Like, you ain't have to go in so hard to the point of you don't have a license to address me as Maya.
You know what? I don't.
Even though she was younger.
Yeah, I didn't see the clip, but I would say.
So
this.
do we call our elders by their first name without it being disrespectful?
So at work, I work with people who are older than me. I've managed people who are older than me.
Facts.
I'll tell you this: down here in the South, there are people who I have addressed them as Miss X, Y, and Z and Miss that, and there's been people who I don't. For me, like when I've been at work, I've just kind of taken the pulse of the environment. For a lot of people referring to somebody
that's
this
the-
and that.
that's the geological thing, though.
But then like now where I work, like uptown, where they call it, it's downtown, but they call it uptown. Everybody is referred to by their first name. So again, this is 30 years ago, and this is what I wanted to say is a lot of entertainers, a lot of like high profile people, successful people in business, they have egos. Like they may be narcissistic to a certain extent. Doesn't mean that they're not great people, but it was that type of like mentality that helped get them to where they are. So Maya Angelou, I didn't see the clip. She could be wrong, but that may just give you some insight into how she views herself.
Yeah, like I want to say that she was wrong, and I know this is a hot topic because I was following the hashtag, and it's like a real hot topic. I won't say that she was wrong, but I will say I think she went in a little bit too hard on her because she like really deflated her whole bubble. Like she even went and said like, and I think it was Sai Johnson Raphael.
Oh man, do we getting this is
Like 30 years ago. Yeah.
This the 90s.
Yeah.
Yo, man,
I don't
listen,
see how this resurfaced.
Yo, this is the 30-something podcast. This ain't the 30-something years ago podcast.
It just popped in my mind.
So,
It was good,
okay.
though.
Hey, so how do y'all brothers feel about women paying for dates?
That can get very tricky.
How?
It can be very tricky because in the beginning of an impression, when it comes from a man, the reason why you want to impress a woman from the gate is to actually show stability, right? And if a woman feels that you are stable to a degree, that she can open up herself to you regardless of what happens. So when it comes to swiping the card and you sitting down having a meal, in today's time, if I ask you to go out to eat, I'm going to take care of it, right? But if she says, hey, I'm hungry, let's go out, honestly, really, in all fairness, it's really on her.
Yeah. So what if you invited her to go out and then she says, hey, what this and let's speak in context of like somebody that you're dating, like like you're taking each other serious, and she volunteers to pay for the date.
When that happens,
Yeah.
so you got to understand the backstory behind that, right?
Okay.
It was something that you might have either said, like, or did, or she might have seen something where she might want to just cover the tab.
So you think that
It
it
happens
has to be
like,
something more to it than her just saying, hey, I got this?
Okay, so I've dated women who've made more money than me, right? But I'm still the man. Like, you're not gonna flex that card or that financial like stature over my head, knowing that if we out and about, like, I'm still the man, right? So
Are the toxic masculinity people about to be coming for you?
listen, I'm the man. Come for me. Come listen. 30-something podcast, go in the messages, do what you need to do. But you're not gonna belittle or like step over or move past the fact that I'm like the leading, footstep or forefront of the relationship.
So my big thing is just don't be fake with it, right? So like
Fake how?
So like a couple years ago, women start blasting this. Independent, I make money. I make more money than the man.
And it's only black women that you hear saying this. It's facts. It's
So-
factual. You only hear black women saying this.
So like if you are like that independent, and if we go out, I don't expect you to pay, but if you do pay, I'm not gonna like hold it against you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like if you pay for a date, then you pay for a date. I think that if you are in a long-term relationship, I think that sometimes a man should pay, sometimes a woman should pay. I think that we're past the days where like men just pay for everything.
Yeah, we passed them days.
You know what I just say? I say thank you. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
So you just keep it simple, like
Keep it
thank
simple.
you.
Thank you. Hey, look,
So there's no stop, no like you don't engage, you don't like.
I'm not gonna
"Hold on,
ask
I
no
got it."
questions. No. Like I'm gonna expect to pay, but then if a woman
hold on.
says that, hey, I got it, look, I'll say, are you sure? And if she says yes, no more
it's over.
fighting. It's over.
There's a rule to this. There's a
It's
golden
an
rule.
underwritten rule.
No. So the rule is, and I don't give a. I'll say I don't give a shit. There's a rule to this.
Right.
If you ask a man out on a date, you should pay.
Guaranteed.
The person who initiates the process of going out, that person should pay.
I
Across
agree.
the board.
I agree.
So like if you're like, hey Josh, man, let's go off, you know what I'm saying, for lunch. or
And
whatever.
ladies, literally, if the man never asks you out on a date, don't set yourself up for failure. But if he like literally says, like, if he doesn't have that creative mind or he doesn't have that like forefront for you to put that into fruition that you want to go out and spend time with that person, he might not be for you. Like, that man should always be creative enough to say, hey, let's go do this,
Or-
this, and the third.
Or it could be the space that they're in.
Right, because he still might be filling that
No,
out.
no. What I'm saying is that
Because
is
you
that
ever met a girl
he
that
could
always
be
say,
for
"Hey,
her.
I'm ready to go kick it. I'm ready to go do. Let's go da 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 da."
And she should be ready to go pay.
She should be ready to go pay. Right? Don't be that. Do not be that woman. Like, do not like.
I think it's rude though. Like, how can you say, let's go out to lunch, and then you expect me? How do you know I have the money for lunch?
That's disrespectful.
That's rude. That's very rude.
No. Listen, but at the same time, I'll put the blame on the brother who then goes out for lunch and pays because you just got. Like she called you up and she said, "I'm hungry," and then just go out to eat, and you were like, and you stopped whatever it was that you were doing. You may not, I don't know, maybe you're hungry, maybe you weren't, and then you went, and I'm assuming you probably went to wherever it was that she said that she wanted to go. No. That's on him, and I'm not saying that brothers don't trick. I mean, it does happen, but
yeah, dudes trick all the time.
But a dude should not feel like he shouldn't be upset. Like, yo, you just got played. And if she's only calling you when she's hungry, man, she's using you.
I mean, you gotta be honest.
There's a lot of hungry people out here. You know?
Clarify, like, am I paying?
Are
we going Dutch?
Yeah. But and there's nothing wrong with going Dutch. Dutch is
Absolutely.
okay.
Dutch is cool.
Dutch is cool.
That's just cool.
in today's climate. I agree. Like,
Dutch is cool.
I'm for it.
Heck yeah.
Any fellas, any other topics on like dating or relationships?
Or
Anybody
it's
got
about
something in the air?
the whole traveling thing. Yeah, we're traveling. This the thing. This the
Let's
point.
talk about justice.
Hey
Just
yo,
relax.
this is the point. I think every brother could agree, and I don't know how the ladies feel about this, but yeah, if a brother pays for the trip, y'all are together at least during that weekend. And I'm not saying that you're obligated to anything sexual. That's gonna be up to y'all. But what I'm saying is y'all gonna act as if y'all are a couple, because I don't know brothers is gonna just drop a whole bunch of money just to go hang out and her go do her own thing.
What's the stipulations in that? I mean, like,
All right, so I'm gonna be the one that's gonna.
we gotta
get hit
hold
for it, 'cause
hands?
I'm gonna say it.
You
like,
say that you're with that person for the weekend, so
I'ma
like,
go
if you're
there.
with somebody,
So
like,
yeah. I mean, do you hold hands? I'm not asking you like
Forget
for
hold
now,
hands.
but like
No,
yeah, like some
forget
people
hold
don't
hands.
hold hands with their girls. But what I'm saying is, it's like, you know, if you're on the beach and the rock, excuse me for stuttering, walks past you. She got to keep her composure and be respectful. You know, you get your glance, but you know you ain't gonna be following him because that's disrespectful. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about.
I don't know.
So
What you disagree?
So
No, I mean, so if it's The Rock, I mean, y'all both might be like, hey, hey, let's get a picture or something. I listen.
Come on, man. You get my point, man.
no, but I'm gonna go there though. Like, so you get out of town. You know, you didn't spend X amount of dollars, and I mean, you didn't invested this time.
Yes.
So
And
I'm
money.
to the stage.
And
I'm
money.
to the stage of if I feel comfortable enough to go out of town, that we should be able to explore other things, right?
Like what?
I mean, it might be some sexual engagement, right? Like, how does that play, or has anybody been in a scenario where you didn't painted this situation, went out of town, and you didn't think that the scenario didn't go the way you planned it out?
Yeah. So let me pose that. Like, let me go back to what you were saying as far as like sex.
'Cause expectations.
I would say this, and I would tell any woman this, any woman friend of mine. I'm not saying I would tell any woman. I would tell any woman friend. I would say, hey, don't just like I would say this. Let me word this appropriately. Don't expect. Well, I would say this: if you go to the beach, or if you go to the Bahamas, or you go overseas, or somewhere romantic,
Anywhere you
with
gotta
a
chill
guy,
your mama, you gone for a couple days.
with a guy, you should expect that he may want sex. That's the best way I could put it. I'm not saying that you got to give it up. I'm not saying that he's gonna pressure you. I'm just gonna say that you should expect that he could want sex. That's the most simplest way that I could put it.
Yeah, that was respectfully.
Yeah, thank you.
Like, that's cool.
Thank you. Hey, because I don't want this to come back out like 10 years from now. They're like, yeah, he said if women that travel need to have sex. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yeah, but no, honestly, I mean,
Hey, here we go. If a woman pays for you to go on the trip,
Ooh.
do you have to give up the penis?
Ooh, do you? J-Wall, how you
J-Wall.
feel about that?
If a woman pays for you to go out of town, do you have to give up the penis?
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, do you feel like a piece of meat?
No.
So
No.
why not?
I mean, well, I would speak for myself. Well, guys in general. I mean, guys are always down to have sex, man. No, I mean,
I would feel like a piece of meat.
you will not feel like a piece of meat, especially if she's like attractive to you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out of town with a woman that I'm not attracted to.
Ooh, they about to be in your DMs.
Well, hold on. Do y'all think that a woman would go out of town with a brother that she wasn't attracted to?
So if she was a friend, like he just want to go with a friend.
I mean, so I don't know. Like, hold on. We talking about like somewhere romantic. I'm not gonna take a romantic trip with a friend.
What's a romantic trip? Just
A beach, some water, where it's gonna be a lot of alcohol.
I disagree because you could be in the snow somewhere in a fireplace and that's still romantic.
That could be romantic. So that's romantic to you. So I'm
we can
giving
make
you
this
my
very-
answer.
We can make this
So I'm
very
so- I'm
simple.
saying-
Anywhere
so I'm
that you're
saying-
gonna sleep in the same
same
in the
quarter-
same quarters.
That's a romantic trip to me. It could be anywhere.
So I'm
if
saying
it's one bedroom, I mean, if it's one bed in that room,
yeah. No matter how you define it, yeah, I'm not
if
gonna
it's
do
one
that.
bed in that room.
Now I have because I know some of my friends are gonna be like, well, you went XYZ. I have taken a trip where there were a few women, we gone somewhere and it was a group of us.
Right.
Now that and it was to a beach and stuff like that. I have done that in my past, but I'm not gonna go one on one. Nah, I'm just not.
But
gonna
no,
do that.
I've been out of town
Because I know my limits.
in a scenario where, we had single quarters, we had a room, and she came, how they go to the bathroom, they get all like, freshened up, whatever. And she came out of the bathroom, and I'm expecting like maybe some lingerie or something, but she had on like a 2-piece like pajama like set, and I was a little disappointed. Right? But
You set yourself up for that disappointment, my friend.
But don't get it twisted. I mean,
Still got the buns.
the set
Long
came
long time ago.
But I mean, that still didn't like damper the scenario. But that's up to me because when I was younger, I didn't set the expectations.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
So, I think that's
that's
a good
just-
point. That's a good point. So brothers, if you expect to have sex on this trip, you need to do your research and know who you're taking. And women, or guys, whoever. I'm not gonna do man versus woman. We can't do that in today's climate. I'll say the person that's sponsoring the trip and the person who is attending the trip, you should also be aware of who that other person is.
So if you accept the invite,
Yes.
be open to the journey.
I ain't gonna say be open to understand what this journey may include and make your decision about, hey, if I'm gonna take this journey.
That's fair. Yeah.
Hey man, you're not gonna get me on this. You know what I'm saying?
That's a very hard question to ask. So like, hey, are we gonna have sex?
Hey, I actually got a homeboy that said that he's asked every girl that he's had sex with, he's asked, do you want to have sex?
How does that work for him, though?
And I laugh. Whoa.
Hold on. Have anyone in this room long time ago ever like flat out been in the realm of like, messing around and just asked like, hey, do you want to?
Yeah.
You have. I've never asked that question. It
Yeah.
just flows into it.
But it was crazy when
It's understanding, right?
but it
if
was-
we're getting down and what's that?
But it was crazy. It was crazy when my homeboy said it because like he's been doing this for like years. He just didn't want to get caught up in a rape or he always wanted to have.
So he got that
100%
consensual like.
That don't mean
consent.
nothing, no, because like she could say yes and then turn back around and say, I didn't get my consent.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just found it funny because he said literally
It's
every
very
girl.
funny.
I
It's
thought it
very
was
funny.
hilarious
To asking,
because it seemed like it would it seemed
never.
like it would take her out of the mood a little
Yeah,
bit. You know
well,
what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you in the middle of like the mood
Yeah.
and it's going,
Yeah.
and you say, "Hey, by the way,
Yeah.
would you
But-
like to have sex?" What?
That
She might
full
have.
blown stop. Like, I did. No, I don't.
All right, man, that's funny. I had to put that up there. So, yeah.
And shout out to him though. I respect him though for asking that question though because
Yeah.
that's bold.
Yeah.
Because you shooting yourself in the foot.
Do you
if
want to
if
have?
if-
Do you want to have sex?
Because you could fuck up. Like, I'm serious. Like, I respect him for even, like, throwing that disclaimer out.
Yeah.
But I just think that...
How does a girl answer that? Yes.
So
I would like to have sex right
So this is what I'll tell you though.
Either you gonna get the green light or she's gonna be like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have never heard of anybody stopping.
So this is what I will say.
That's crazy.
This is what I will say. This brother, he's been married for like 5 years or something like that. So, you know, his dating life wasn't like long. He didn't go into like his 30s or anything like that.
Now,
So-
when you're married, that's different because you totally be like, hey, are we having sex tonight?
it's Wednesday.
Are we having sex tonight? I need to
All
know
right.
because either I need
if
to go to
not,
bed
like-
or I need to plan for the
Listen.
work tomorrow. Are we having sex tonight? Is this a sex night?
So you can have them conversations when you're married. That makes
facts.
sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, listen, married, single, please leave those comments. We appreciate the listening. I want to thank Jay Wall for coming to visit for the 30-something podcast.
Absolutely.
been
I want to
pleasure.
thank Thompson and Khalil for not being here.
Yeah,
we need
man.
y'all back, but if we stand it in, we see the chair empty, so make sure y'all come back.
Yep.
Hey, yo, Josh been holding it down for the engineering side, and we out.
Hey,
So
man,
we wanna
great
thank y'all.
podcast, man. Y'all brothers keep doing your thing, man.
Thank you.